morning. So the other day, my friend's girlfriend asked him, if Izzy's so poor, why doesn't she just move back in with her parents? Just as I started first year university, I received a call. It was a scholarships office asking if I wanted $10,000 a year every year, and this was the UNSW Access Assist Scholarship, which at the time I'd never heard of. The fact that they offered me a scholarship based on need and not application was pretty great, and it's the first time I felt supported by UNSW. I wasn't just a means to revenue, I was this person that they wanted to help graduate. So through my first years of university, I met a lot of other students, and I always asked them about their housing status. During my first 2 or 3 years, literally everyone I met lived at home. Well, not quite everyone. A few kids that I knew had their parents cover their full rent and give them a weekly allowance to live on campus. This trend also followed my friends through high school from Darwin and Adelaide. Those whose parents could afford to cover them moved away from home, and my other lower socioeconomic friends stayed at home. The one who couldn't moved to Tasmania. So I broke the mold a little bit. I wanted a top university education, I wanted to live in a city with opportunities, and I wanted my specific double degree that UNSW offered. So I moved to a youth hostel quite suddenly in Sydney in 2014, in January, to participate in a training course for work. I got a room, got Centrelink sorted, which is a bigger task than you would imagine, got a job, and things for the most part were going okay. So cut to last year, I was waiting for a couple of invoices to come through for work. So for 3 or 4 weeks, I had about 58 cents in my bank account. I lived off some rice and tuna from my cupboard and occasional dinners at my friends' houses. Fortunately, my Centrelink youth allowance covered my rent, and so now people say that money isn't everything, but I can tell you that not having it really is. The amount of stress that comes from not knowing where your next meal's coming from, if you can afford to catch the bus home, and telling your new housemate that you need to wait a little bit longer to pay your $15 gas bill is pretty crazy. And I think at this point I was also sleeping in a hammock in my attic because I couldn't afford a bed off Gumtree. But anyways, I also have an interest-free loan from UNSW to pay for my laptop, for when my old laptop broke, but that month obviously I wasn't going to be able to cover the loan. So I made an appointment with my loans officer, and he quickly redrew the contract for me so that I was able to not pay that month and start again next month. And in addition, he gave me a bunch of Coles gift vouchers so I could afford food. And it was the second time that I was really felt supported, that UNSW was there to look out for me. So in short, I think it's pretty great that the UNSW, Good Shepherd Microfinance, and the other 18 Trailblazer organisations have realised this issue and begun steps towards promoting financial inclusion. So it's the third time I felt supported by UNSW, because they're really making progress towards financial equity. They're creating more opportunities for students from disadvantaged backgrounds, just like myself, to help further their own futures. So, thank you.